All right, in this video, we're going to talk about relative frequencies. Relative frequencies, not relatives like aunts and uncles and grandpas and things, but relative meaning compared to. Compared to what? Well, normally we're talking about the grand totals. That's for joint relative frequencies and marginal relative frequencies. Now, if you're trying to do a conditional relative frequency, you probably want to watch the next video after this one. But in this one, we're going to talk about how to find a joint relative frequency and a marginal relative frequency. And by the way, what are those things? So first of all, a joint relative frequency joins two ideas. You can see on the screen, joint is in light blue, and here's the light blue boxes where you would find joint relative frequencies. So those joint frequencies are like up top, 6 joins how many identify as girls with how many of those prefer basketball. So that would be 6 out of the grand total, which is 80. So for the relative frequencies, it's 6 out of 80, which if you take a calculator and divide 6 divided by 80, hold on a second. 6 divided by 80 is 0.075. So my answer would be, you could also instead of writing it as a fraction, you could write it as a decimal as 0.075. Okay, so that's one of the joint relative frequencies. So there's 5 others. You could fill in those other 5 blue boxes as well. How about a marginal relative frequency? Well, those are the ones on the margins of the table out here. And the way you'd fill those in is dividing by the grand total again. So this one would be 36 out of 80 right here. So 36 out of 80. If I divide that one on my calculator, 36 divided by 80, I get 0.45. So this one's 0.45. All right, so there's a marginal relative frequency. And by the way, the marginal relative frequency down here in the corner is always 100%, because you're going to have on this one 80 divided by the grand total, which is 80, which equals 1 whole. So your decimal would be 1 whole. Your percentage would be 100%. All right.